If for some reason it was your preference not to use the stitch I already showed you, the mattress stitch, there are some options. We work into the same area, and just for ease, I'm going to start above the cuff on this little sleeve. It's done in the same manner, but it's finickier for me to see around the camera. Here's something that works well, especially if you have difficulty keeping your seam stretchy enough, and that is a chain stitched seam. You may use a crochet hook or, my preference, the latch tool, and I'm purposely using a contrasting yarn here so that you can see where it goes. Did you see I almost accidentally put it into the edge stitch rather than next to the edge stitch? Push through both layers in the same area as we always use for this seam, next to the edge column of stitches. Pull through a new loop, adjust its tension, and repeat. Push through both layers next to the edge column of stitches, pull through a loop. Now in this case I am using a contrasting yarn, not because that's a good idea, but so you can see what we get. And I'm not bothering to count and find out if I'm actually putting it in every stitch. You might use every stitch or every other stitch here, and I think I did some of one and some of the other. If it was a real project, it would matter. That's how one side looks. That's how the other side looks. Here you're looking into the seam. Oh, just so you know, pulling out a seam like this is simplicity itself. You just pull on the working tail and it all comes out. Okay, this time I did start my seam at the bottom because I had my yarn tail there. And I will make more of an effort to catch every stitch so we get a seam the way it would really be. Pull through loop, down through both layers, pull through a loop, and so on. Chain stitch does tend to have a little bit more stretch than either back stitch or mattress stitch. The downside is what I just showed you. It's so easy to pull out if you make a mistake, but it's also easy to pull out if you accidentally snag it on something. So should your secured end not stay secure, this could happen. Of course, it doesn't ruin anything when it comes out, though it can create embarrassing moments. You can put it right back in. It's a little bit laborious for basting, but very good for basting in that you can try something and undo it without any marks being left whatsoever. This should be enough for us to see. And now let's flip it right side out. It lays down like that, but when you pull it apart, you can see down into it like that. However, done in the same yarn, I think it's quite good looking, and you can see the stretch. So that's an option for seaming too.